good afternoon, Mr. Mario, Mr. Jordi. How are you? Are you ready for the class?
Good afternoon, teacher.
Hello,
Yes,
Mr.
ready.
Mario. Nice, perfect. So today we're going to start with a new topic, tag questions. Okay, so let me share that information. Tag question. Tag questions are used to ask for some agreement or to ask for things, favors, or new information to determine which. Listen to the speaker's tone. A tag question is a special construction in English, and it is a statement followed by a mini question. We're going to study that later. And we use tag question to ask for a confirmation. Okay, so use our tag questions. The first one, tag questions can be considered an indicator of politeness, emphasis, or irony, right? So, there you have the first use. Let's see the second one, to confirm that something is true or not. In that case, we're going to use the tag questions to confirm some courage or replay from the person we are speaking to. Also, we can use the questions, right? To encourage, to an answer, right? In that case. Questions 4. Affirmative statement, he likes him, right? So, there you have the affirmative statement, he likes him. And in that case, that tag question is going to be negative. So, he likes him, doesn't he? Right? In this case, this is a simple present tense, right? So, he likes him. So, the negative tag in negative, right, that will be doesn't, because that is simple present. And also, you're going to use the subject or the pronoun that you have in the main sentence or in the affirmative statement, right? And also the question mark. So, he likes him, doesn't he? But what about if you have a negative statement or a negative sentence? She doesn't care about him. This is a negative sentence. So, that question is going to be affirmative. But in this case, you're going to use first the auxiliary in affirmative, because it does, and also the subject, she. So, she doesn't care about him, does she? Right? So, don't forget this. If you have the affirmative statement here, you're going to have the negative tag question. But if the statement is negative, you're going to have affirmative tag question, right? So don't forget that. Also, a positive statement plus a negative question tag. That is what I told you, that if you have this, you are a student, that is a positive statement, you need to have a negative question. That's a negative question tag, right? And also you're going to use a comma, right, in this case. So you are a student, comma, are you? A subject pronoun comes after an auxiliary of a form of the verb to be, right? But what happens if you have a negative statement? Negative statement plus a positive tag question. Mary isn't a teacher, comma, is she? In this case, notice that you're using the verb to be as an auxiliary in this case. That is the main verb of your sentence. So, Here you're using that in negative, right? So Mary isn't a teacher, comma. Here you're going to use also the verb to be, is she? First, you're going to have the verb of the auxiliary in this case because that is that question, and then you're going to have the subject. A subject pronoun is used to replace the noun or noun phrase. Also, you can use a pronoun here, a subject pronoun instead of saying Mary also. Intonation and meaning. The intonation of a question tag shows the exact meaning of it. If the intonation of the question tag goes up, it means you are not sure and you want to know the answer, right? So, for example here, John doesn't speak Spanish. Does she? So here you have the intonation, right? You can say the question tag goes up. Does he? Right? So it means you are not sure and you don't want to know the answer in this case. But if the intonation of the question tag goes down, it means you are checking, confirming information, or just making a conversation. For example, June doesn't speak Spanish. Does she? Right? So in this case, the intonation of the tag question goes down. Right? So be careful with that because those options or those examples have a different meaning. If the intonation goes up, it means that you don't know the answer, right? You are not sure about that. But if the intonation goes down, it means that you are just checking or confirming the information that you are receiving in that moment, right? So remember this, guys. If you have a positive statement, you're going to have a negative question tag or a negative tag question. And if you have a negative statement, you're going to have a positive question tag. Okay, so don't forget that. Also, here you have this positive statement. You are a student, aren't you? He is very busy, isn't he? In this case, you're using the verb to be in present. That's why in the negative tab, you really need to use also the verb to be, but in this case, in negative, right? Also, you can have the verb being past. He was happy, wasn't he? They were surprised, weren't they? So this is in past, right? So you need to use also here wasn't or weren't because you have here the verb to be in past. What about in simple present? You speak English, don't you? He studies Spanish, doesn't he? Right? You studied for the test. This is in simple past. So you studied for the test, didn't you? Remember that you need to use the auxiliary in past in this case. So did plus not. Didn't you? You have studied all week, haven't you? Also, you can have the present perfect tense here, right? Or the past perfect. You have arrived before he left, haven't you? Right? Also, future, the simple future using will. You will pass the exam, won't you? Right? You can speak two languages. Can you? Also, you can use modal verbs, right? And in the tag question, you can use the modal verb also, right? So you could do it for me, couldn't you? Or we must be patient, mustn't we? You should go now, shouldn't you? You would like a new job, wouldn't you? Right? So, negative auxiliaries and verbs in text are usually in their contracted form, right? So don't forget these guys. What about if you have a negative statement? You aren't a teacher. You must have a positive tag. Are you? He isn't crazy. Is he? He wasn't relaxed. Was he? They weren't late. Were they? Also, simple present. You don't speak French. Comma. Don't forget the comma, right? Do you? You didn't study for the test. Did you? You haven't been here all week, have you? You hadn't done it before then, had you? You won't fail the exam, will you? You can't drive a car, can you? You couldn't do it for me, could you? We mustn't say anything, must we? You shouldn't be so busy, should you? You wouldn't stop me, would you? So, statements using very, hardly, neither, nobody, or no, nobody, no one, nothing, and seldom are treated as negative statements. So, nobody went to the meeting. In this case, if you have this word as a subject, right? In this case, you're going to take that statement as a negative one. So, you really need to have an affirmative type question. So, nobody went to the meeting, did they? Right? So here you have went. That's why you're going to have that question in past, but in a positive way. Nothing is ready, is it? Right? So in this case, that is simple present, but you have nothing in this case, so you are going to take that one as a negative statement, okay? So nothing is ready, is it? Right? So don't forget these guys. If you have in this case, a negative statement, you're going to have a positive tag. If you have a positive statement, you're going to have a negative tag, right? So, exceptions. For example, I am attractive, aren't I? So this could be an exception. In this case, here you have the verb to be, and here you have I. That is the first person singular. But in the tag question, you're not going to use In this case, you're going to use are plus not, because this is an affirmative statement, so you need a negative tag question. So, am I attractive? Aren't I? That is an exception, guy. Let's go to the beach, shall we? This is another one. If you have let's, right, in this case, that is in the affirmative statement, you're going to have the shall, we, in the tag question, right? So let's show are. In this case, aren't, because that is a positive statement. Stop daydreaming. In this case, if you have stop daydreaming, that will be like an imperative. So you're going to have will or won't in the tag question. So stop daydreaming. Will you or won't you? Right? So those are exceptions. So keep them in mind, guys. Don't stop singing, will you? In this case, that is a negative one. So don't stop singing. That's an imperative also. So you're going to use here will you in the tag question. Mr. Mario, Mr. Omin, Mr. Jordi, do you have questions? Or is everything clear? No questions. Okay, Mr. Jordi. Okay, here you have the first exercise. It says, find and correct the mistakes below. One mistake per sentence. Some sentences use the present tense, others use the past tense. Here you have an example. They live in San Francisco. That is a positive statement. So you need to have a negative tag question. So in this case, you don't need to have are, right? Because here you have a simple present tense. You're not using the verb to be. So you need to have don't. They. So they live in San Francisco, don't they? Right? What about the number 2? Let's do this as an example. He didn't buy the chairs. Didn't, that is a negative statement, and that is in simple past. So you need to have what? A positive tag question. But which would be the mistake here? If you have as a subject he, I think that we cannot have this they, right? So in this case, you're going to have he didn't buy the chairs, did he? Right? So you're going to find out the mistakes and correct them, right? You're going to have we can say one mistake per sentence, okay? So I want you to work on them. You're going to have around 5 minutes for you to work on them, and then we're going to check them together, okay? So remember also, if you have questions, just raise your hand and I will help you, okay? So you have 5 minutes, guys. Work on those sentences. Find the mistake and correct the mistake. Okay, so work, guys. Okay, let's check the answers, guys. What do you think about the number 3? We are late. Do we? Which could be the mistake there? In that, which could be the mistake?
Chen.
Yes, tell me, Mr. So we are late. But in this case, Mr. Mario, if you have an affirmative statement, you need to have a negative statement. So in this case, right, do the aren't, you aren't, we, that will be that one. Yes, because here you have an affirmative statement, so you need a negative tag question. And here you're using the verb to be, so you need the verb to be here. Okay, number 4, he can't swim. He can swim, Mr. Jordi. Can he? Yes, excellent, Mr. Jordi, that will be. So, can he? Excellent. Here you're using can't, but that is a negative statement, so you need a affirmative tag question. What about number 5, Mr. Mario? She was a student, isn't she? Which would be the mistake in this case? She was a student, isn't she?
Wasn't she?
Wasn't she? Perfect. So, in this case, wasn't she? Excellent. 6, Thomas saw a movie. Wasn't he? What do you think about that one? Thomas saw a movie. Wasn't he? We have a simple past, right, statement, and that is affirmative. So Which could be the tag question? Yes, didn't he? Excellent, Mr. George. That will be that one, right? So, the mistakes, that is not wasn't he, that is didn't, right? Didn't he? That will be perfect. So, Tomas saw a movie, didn't he? Right? 7. He couldn't answer the question. Did he? In this case, you're using could. That's in past, right? So, in this case, he couldn't answer the question. Here you need could he, right? That could he? That would be that one, right? So, let's see 8. Mr. Smith were late, wasn't he? Oh, which could be the mistake here? Mr. Smith were late, wasn't he? Which could be the mistake, Mr. Jordi? Where? Yes, where, right? Subject here, Mr. Smith, right? So, in this case, you know that you have to use, right? Was. So, Mr. Smith was late, wasn't he?
Hadn't they?
Hadn't they? Okay, in that case, right, you need to use didn't, because this is had simple past, right? So, in this case, they have dinner, didn't they? Right? Didn't they? That will be that one. Your sister bought a new house. Didn't it, Mr. Osmin? Your sister bought a new house. Didn't it? Let's see. Mr. Jordi, didn't she? Excellent. Because here you have your sister, so you don't need it in this case. That is she. Didn't she? Nice. 11. You don't exercise, don't you? Here you have a negative statement, so you need here an affirmative tag question. So, do you? That would be, do you? Right? 12. It's 3 o'clock, aren't it? Which could be here? It's 3 o'clock, aren't it? Here you have it is, right? So, in the tag question, you need to have, so, it's 3 o'clock, isn't it? That will be 13. She is your friend, don't she? Mr. Mario, which could be the mistake here? She is your friend, don't she?
She is your friend. Does she?
No. Which verb do you have here? Is. And so, in this case? Isn't. Remember. Isn't she? Because here you're using the verb to be. So, you need to use the verb to be also in the tag question. So, she is your friend, isn't she? Right? 14. He is from Canada. Isn't it, Mr. Mario? Which could be the mistake in the number 14? He is from...
Isn't he?
Excellent. Isn't he, right? Good. That will be that one. He is from Canada, isn't he? Nice. Your father doesn't drink tea, is he? Mr. Jordi, which could be that one? In that case, your father doesn't drink tea. Is he? Kind of weird. Which could be that one, Mr. Jordi? Doesn't drink tea. That is simple present, right? So, does he? Excellent. That would be that one. So, in this case, you need to use does. So, does he? Nice. And the last one, they already started their class, don't they? Started. That is simple past. So, which could be the mistake here? Don't, right? Which one do you need to use? Didn't, because that is in past. Didn't they? That would be. So they already started their class. Didn't they? Okay, that would be nice. I don't know if you have questions. Do you have questions about them? No? If you don't have questions, let's do another exercise. This will be the last one, okay? Complete these 16 sentences to score your knowledge of tag questions. Here you have the first one. Let's do it as an example. John works at the new office building downtown. A, doesn't he? B, isn't he? Or C, doesn't it? Here you have the subject. Which could be our subject? John, right? So we need he in the tag question. And here you say works. Simple present. So you need doesn't he? That will be the answer, right? So John works at the new office building downtown. Doesn't he? Here you have an affirmative statement, so you're going to use a negative tag question, right? So, guys, you're going to have 5 minutes. 5 minutes for you to work on those sentences. Choose the correct answer. Then we're going to check them together, okay? So work on them. Okay, guys, let's check the answers. What about number 2, Mr. Mario? Read the whole sentence and tell me the answer. A, B, or C? Which
Letter T. Doesn't it?
But here you have Ankara is the capital city of Turkey. So,
Isn't it?
Mr. Mario. Isn't it? Right? Okay. That will be letter B. Nice. Mr. Ming. Number 3.
Okay.
Read.
Sam and Ruby are standing in the library. Aren't they?
Aren't they? Yes. Letter B. Right? In the library, Mr. Osman. That will be excellent. Mr. Jordi. Read it and tell me the answer. Number 4.
The dog doesn't like to bite people.
Okay.
Letter C.
Excellent. Letter C. That's it. Nice. Thank you. What about 5, Mr. Ma? Read the whole sentence.
Aren't we?
Aren't we? Yes. So you and I are late for our English class. Aren't we? Nice. That will be that one. 6, Mr. Ming. Your
Okay,
brother.
teacher. No veo bien la pregunta.
No? Sorry, that's too much. But now, Mr. Ming. 6.
Your brother know how to speak Chinese.
Chinese. Which one? A, B, or your brothers don't. Are
Are they, teacher?
Are they? But here you're using don't. Do they? Yeah. Do they? Did you have a negative statement? You need an affirmative question. Okay, nice. Mr. Jordi, number 7.
You never have eggs and toast for breakfast, do you?
Do you?
Never.
Excellent. Let us see. Nice. Perfect. Do you? Right? 8. Mr. Romain again. Read it. Tell me which could be.
Excuse me, your name isn't Thomas.
A, B, or C?
Is
Is it? Nice. That will be because isn't a mess up. Is it? Nice. Thank you. Mr. Mario, 9.
Letter B and I.
This is an exception. Remember, Mr. Mario? Oh no. In the wrong classroom again. So, aren't I? That is an exception. Remember that. Okay? So, 10, Mr. Jordi. Where are you, Mr. Jordi?
There are about 200 countries in the world.
Okay.
Aren't there?
Excellent.
Letter A.
Letter 8. Aren't there? Perfect. Very good. Let's see 11, Mr. Osmin. Which could be that?
it usually rains a lot in your country?
11, Mr. Osmin? This one?
Oh, okay. Today is Monday. Today is Monday. I think our English test is tomorrow. Isn't it?
Excellent. Isn't it? Letter B. Nice. That would be Mr. Osmin. Nice. 12, Mr. Mario.
Well, are they, teacher?
Are they? Malaysia and Indonesia are both located in Asia. So, aren't they? Because here you have R. Nice. Mr. Jordi, 13.
Why isn't Sarah here? She's not sick, is she?
Okay, one. Letter C.
C.
Nice. Letter C. Perfect. Is she? Nice. And Mr. Amin, 14. This one. Which could be the answer for that one?
Okay. It usually rains a lot in your country.
Okay. It usually rains.
No. Oh. And doesn't it, teacher?
Doesn't it?
It's right.
Yeah, that could be that one, Mr. Rahmi. Okay. So, 15. Mr. Jordi.
That television cost $500, doesn't it? Letter A.
Okay, letter 8. Nice, Mr. Jordi. That will be perfect. And the last one, Mr. Mario.
Our question are really quite easy. Aren't they?
Which could be aren't they? Yes, that would be the correct answer. Okay, so do you have questions about these guys? Do you have questions? No?
No, teacher.
So, I guess, okay, nice. We're going to finish the class right now. And remember, tomorrow you're going to find out the second evaluation in Google site, okay? But I will let you know when you can do that evaluation, right? So, if you don't have questions, comments, let's see you the next class. Okay? So have a nice week. Take care a lot, guys, and bye bye. And don't forget to study. Thank you, Mr. Mario. See you. Take care, Mr. Geraldine. Have a nice day.
Thanks, teacher, for your class.
Okay, Mr. Amin. Take care a lot. Bye bye. See you.